Assalamualaikum. Hope all of you are doing well. Today is we start our second course, international course. This course is almost 1.5 month or 1 month. The duration of this course is almost 1.5 month and total classes 5 or 6 classes only. One class in week. The speaker and trainer of this course is Miss Bharvi Khatri. She is from UAE. Uh, she is psychologist, neuropath, author, and life coach. Miss Bharvi, uh, can you start the session?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing fine. Is everybody excited to learn about the CPT? Okay, let's begin. So, what exactly is a CBT? CBT, everybody knows that the full form is cognitive behavioral therapy. Everybody knows, even if they are not a psychologist, they have heard the terminology and they know by some idea what exactly is it about. But we are here as a psychologist. We want to go into deeper into it. So we will start with this thing. What exactly is the CBT in very simple terms? So psychology in this CBT, it starts with cognition, right? What are our thinking patterns? How we think. Then behavioral, how we behave.
Ma'am, your
So
voice is
this
not clear.
therapy, is it? Okay, is it clear
It's,
now?
it's very much clear.
Yeah.
Yes,
You can
ma'am.
start. Please,
Okay, should I continue?
आप अपना mic थोड़ा सा close कर लें.
Yep, please continue, and everybody else, please mute yourself.
Yes. I request everyone to please mute your mics so that it will be clear for you as well. Thank you.
Okay. You can start.
Yeah. So as I was saying, CBT is all about thoughts. It starts from the thoughts. What is your cognition? What are your schemas? How they developed? So in cognitive behavioral therapy, we don't go much deeper into it generally. But if you have some severe psychological disorders, then we go into deep. Otherwise, it is a very structured, to the point, very time limited therapy, so the results come quicker. So it focuses on the present moment. What is your problem at the moment and how it all starts. So it starts with the how you think, your thoughts, and it comes into your behavior. And with the help of the therapy, using different tools like thought journal, like setting smart goals and different techniques we use and work on it. So in very simple terms, it is that a unique, you have very unique patterns of thinking and behaving, and they are very significant. And if they are troubling you in any way to lead your life, then we work on it. Okay, so both good and bad experiences come into this. Since these patterns have such a significant impact on our experiences, it follows these patterns can change our experience. You want to change the slide? So cognitive behavioral therapy aims to change the way you are thinking. It works on that. So when you are thinking change, your behavior changes. If your behavior changes, of course, it impacts your life in a very positive manner. So cognitive behavioral therapy is about emotions and our unconscious and beliefs, our attitudes, and ultimately our behavior in order to help us face difficult and achieve our goals in life the way we want to. Like we have, for example, if I explain you in a very simple term, I want to do very well in my job. Okay, I am working somewhere in some MNC, and my goal is that I want to reach on the higher post. That is my goal. So in CBT, with that, we will decide the goal first. Okay, this is what we want to achieve. This is a professional goal. Personal goal, that anybody can think that nobody likes me, nobody loves me. Then what will you do? You want that people should like you, love you the way you are. But then you go thinking about it, understanding why you have to think, you are thinking about like this. You have to give the evidence, and then we change gradually. Each by we take it into bits of pieces, and we reach our ultimate goal. So the founder of cognitive behavioral therapy was R.N. Beck. He was a practicing psychoanalyst at that time, and he wanted to give a very scientific proof and evidence that it really works, the psychoanalysis. But when he was experimenting all these things, he got a very different result. From basis of that, he understood this thing that this our thoughts, whatever your cognitions, they are playing very important role in our life. So once we change our thought patterns, and that will bring immediate relief. Okay, so he changed the therapy then. The psychoanalysis, then he invented, he worked on it, he experimented on people, and he came to this conclusion that this he developed this cognitive behavioral therapy on the basis of these experiments. Okay, so Beck found the combination of cognitive therapy. It started as a cognitive therapy. Later, the behavioral therapy also came into it, and it collaborated, and now it is called as a cognitive behavioral therapy. So initially, he was working only on the cognitions of a person. So Beck laid the foundation of the most popular and influential form of therapy for the last 50 years. This form of therapy is not designed for lifelong participation. It is not a first thing is that cognition CBT is not lifelong. It is a very short term therapy. We have like 8 to 10 sessions or maximum 8 to 15 sessions. We try to summarize it depending on the disorders or problems or issues you have. We work on it. That session might get extended, but in usually we try to keep it very short and come to a conclusion, and the result are evident immediately. So most CPT treatments, regimes last from 5 to 10 months with the 1 or 50 to 60-minute session per week. That's how we collaborate with the patient, or how much they are willing to work on it. If they're available once in a week, or if there is some emergency only, then we take twice a week. Otherwise, one is sufficient, and there are different methodologies how to we go about it in the future. Now we will talk about the cognitive distortions. What are they? Can you change the slide, please? So many of the most popular and effective cognitive behavioral therapy techniques are applied to what psychologists call cognitive distortions. Now, what are cognitive distortions? We have very maladaptive way of thinking sometimes. We have certain way of thinking. This is correct, that is not correct, or we take things in a certain manner into our mind, and that affect our behavior, and ultimately it affects our life. So in CBT we work on that, how to change that. So to change that, first of all we have to know what we have to work on. Just imagine, if I give you an example, I have to go somewhere. I live in Abu Dhabi. I want to go to Dubai. And if I don't know, because there are 7 Emirates in UAE, and I don't know, I want to go to Al Ain, or I want to go to Sharjah or Dubai, and I'm asking people where to go. Will I be able to go there if I don't know my destination? So first of all, you have to know where you want to reach and what are your obstacles. So if we recognize what are distortions, what we have to work on at the moment, it becomes, it gives you a base to work on. So first thing is that whenever somebody is coming to you, if you are a psychologist, if you're not a psychologist, if you're just trying to understand yourself, your distortions, it can impact you in a huge manner. Once you understand these distortions, then you will be able to address them. Okay, this is the problem I am facing. And once you know this is the problem, only then you can solve it. If I give you a maths problem, only then you will solve it. If I don't give you a maths problem, how will you get the solution? So first we have to address where we are lacking, or if somebody is seeing the clients or the patients, you have to find out where the problem is coming. So once we understand, there are many kind of cognitive distortions, but roughly we will talk about 9 to 10 distortions at the moment, and they're very common in everyone. Now people will say, last time when we had a another class, one of the participants said, these are the distortions, somebody have in a small or the large manner, everybody has that. That is absolutely true, everybody has these distortions. But if it is impacting your life and it is on the higher level that you're not able to live your life in a very fruitful manner, then you have to work on it, you have to change it. And how we change it, tools I will tell you in the next session, but today only I will tell you what are those cognitive distortions. So cognitive distortions, I have already told you, it is an inaccurate thought that reinforce negative thought patterns or emotions. So one of them is filtering. Filtering refers to the way a person ignores all of the positive, okay, and positive or good things about themselves, and they will always focus on the negative aspect of anything. For example, if you were doing a presentation, you gave a very good presentation in your office, and your boss said, okay, the presentation was very nice, well organized, and you spoke very well, everything was perfect. But there was a small mistake, you didn't do certain things, or the data was not correct, some minor mistakes were there, only those minor mistakes. But what will he do? He will solely focus on the negative part. He will forget about what all positive things he said. Last time in the session also I demonstrated it in the live session, how you understand that we only focus on the negative part and we forget it. So you are just filtering, you are just taking the negative things towards you, and the focus is not on the positive aspects, which is very unhelpful. I'll give you one more example. Just suppose you fail in your maths exam or science or xyz, any exam, maybe once or maybe twice. But what is it? You will think, oh, I'm really bad at maths, I can never get maths, what exactly is it, it's not my subject. So you are just thinking, focusing about that only. Maybe you did it this time, maybe next time or the last time you did well. So it's a trap, it really affects your life. When you are thinking on those lines, you will not be able to live a life which will be fruitful if you think on those lines only. What will happen if you have this thing? Negativity will increase. You will not be able to see the positive aspects in yourself or the others. So your focus will be on the negative only. So it is not there will be a lot of things around you which are positive, good things about you. People will tell you that you are good with this thing, that thing, but you will just ignore it, you will just focus on this part. So it is not going to be helpful in any way to help you live a good life. Next comes polarized thinking, or black and white thinking. It's about you can say, there are only good people in the world or the bad people in the world. There is no in between. Is it a fact? I don't think so. Because in every bad person, there is something good. In every good person, might be something bad. We are a mix, we are human beings. So, or in situation also, we might think this situation is not correct. This is not happening. This is not in my favor. This is completely bad. So when we know this thing, there is a gray area also. You have to work on that. There is a mixture of everything. It is not like everything is perfectly black, everything is perfectly white. There's no such thing. There is always in every situation, in every situation or person, it is a mixture of both. That's why we say that the gray area is there. It's a mixture of white and black. Be it person, be it emotions, be it your situations, or whatever is happening. So once we train ourselves to look at things with this set of mind, okay, maybe this person didn't do this thing nice, but probably there are better things in that person. He could have behaved, or she could have behaved in a different manner, and once that happens, what happens? We label them, they are completely bad. They are like this only. Or even for yourself, if you fail in an exam, you will say, yeah, oh, I'm a failure, I can never achieve anything in my life. So this is called as black and white thinking or polarized thinking. So we should recognize it, and once we recognize, okay, maybe we are not good at it. Just suppose that maybe you thought you were not good at this thing. You did really bad in that one, in your maths. So you can, once you recognize this problem, you can work on it. But if you have this polarized thinking, then what will you do? You will stop putting efforts, and if you don't put efforts, things can never improve. And there is always hope to work on your skills, on yourself, or whatever the situation is. There is always a positive side. But if you ignore it completely, or if you label it, then you cannot improve. There's no possibility of changing for yourself or for the other person. The next is overgeneralization. That is, it is just like you take one simple incident. Just suppose uh, you went into the road, okay, and maybe you saw someone getting into fight or something like that. You overgeneralized, okay, whenever I go there, people are fighting on this road is not nice. Or once you went to an interview and you didn't do well, and you were really trembling and you couldn't answer the questions properly, and then what happened? After that, you overgeneralized, okay, it will happen in all the interviews. I'm not good at interviews. So this is overgeneralization with the evidence. Okay, it happened once, but you are concluding it that it will happen all the time, and this is not going to work for me. So uh, can you change the slide, please?
Already.
I can't see it properly. Okay. Next is jumping to conclusions. Now, it is like jumping to conclusions is like overgeneralization only. It sounds very similar, but in this, what is the difference? You don't have the evidence, and you are assuming if this has happened, then that will also happen. Like, see, for I'll give you an evidence. Okay, just if you're flying, okay, you're taking the flight, and when you're before taking the flight, you have assumed, okay, I am 100% sure this is the flight is going to crash. I'm not going to go into it. Do you have the evidence over there? Maybe sometimes it might have happened long time back or somewhere else, but it doesn't. It happens very rarely. So you don't have the evidence here. Still, you conclude that this flight will crash. Or just for the same time, like an interview, maybe you didn't even go for the interview, but you are concluding, I will not be able to do it. That is the conclusion. So this is like immediately you are thinking, if okay, another example I will give you. I'm trying to learn a new skill. I have never learned it. Just for example, I'm learning guitar. I've never learned how to play guitar. But when I take the guitar in my hand and I don't know how to play it, at the first string I say, jump to conclusion, okay, I will never be able to play the guitar because I don't know anything. I'm really bad at it. Do you think this kind of thinking will help you in life? Once you realize, okay, no, this is not helpful for me, you will go try it, hone your skills, XYZ. I gave you an example of guitar. It could be of anything. A number of things are there which we want to try in life, but we are afraid, or we will conclude we are very bad with it. We're really, really bad at it. We won't be able to learn it also. You just give yourself this excuse, no, it's not my cup of tea. So this kind of thinking is really not giving you a fruitful conclusion over here. Now comes catastrophizing or magnifying or minimizing. In this kind of distortion, the person who has this, they always think the worst will happen to them in any situation, even if it is a minor incident or minor of a minor thought also. You keep on catastrophizing, either maximizing it or minimizing it. Okay, this will happen. Okay, my son had a fever. Oh my God, what happened? He's sneezing, he's coughing, he has a COVID. What if, COVID happened to him? He will not be able to survive. Small thing, and you will make it very big. And the fact was, the evidence was, it was just a normal fever or a cold or cough or whatever, or any other situation. It was just a minor thing. Maybe you went for a shopping. Okay, and you asked the salesperson over there for a certain kind of a product, and that was not available, and he rudely said to you, we don't have it. And the way he said it, it was very, bad way. And what would you think? All the salesperson are like that. Okay, what will happen now? He's not talking to me properly. Now the people will come over here, and they will think I am the person who is not behaving properly, and it will, catastrophizing in a very bad manner. You will take it to the negativity extreme. And another example could be, maybe, see, you were trying to make a project in your office, and you had been working for a very long time on it, but it didn't come well. Now you're very scared. What will happen now? The project, that was given to me, it was such an important project, and I'm not doing it properly. I will lose my job if the project is not good. Then what will happen to my family? How will I support them? What will happen to my career? I will not be able to do anything in my life. So, from a small fear, you have concluded that you will lose your job and there will be no hope in your life. It's a very not, helping you in any way to work on it. So, whenever you have such kind of thoughts, you have to believe in yourself first. Okay, I can, change it. I can work on it. I can always improve on it. And even if I do lose my job, I can always find the another one. And people do mistakes all the time. Even if I did it, accept it, work on it, improve on yourself next time. Okay. Yes. Just give me a second. Okay. Just give me a 2 second, please. Yeah, sorry about that. So next comes personalization. This is a distortion where an individual believes that everything they do have an impact on external events or other people, no matter how irrational they may be. A person with this distortion will feel he or she has an exaggerated role in bad things that happen around them. For example, okay, I was going to the office. Okay, it was an important meeting, and I got late. I got really tensed, and I start feeling that I was the important person in that meeting. If I would not have, I will not reach. Everything will go bad, and it will not work. And it was a very important meeting. Some important decisions were supposed to be taken at that time, and everything, you take all the responsibility, or exaggerated role, your role into that. And it could be, other way around also. Maybe in some bad situation, you did something minor, but you take it very personally. You personalize it in a very negative manner also, because I did this thing, it happened, something bad happened. I'm responsible for that thing, either good or bad. Thank you for sharing the slide. Okay. So it doesn't matter. You have to see in a very practical manner what exactly is your role, appropriate role. If you realize that how much is your importance over there, and you behave accordingly, you will have better achievements in your life. And sometimes it is like that, that your role is indeed very important, but the problem arises when it is not and you are exaggerating it, and then you are not able to have that is a very dysfunctional thinking, and it is not helping you in any manner. Control fallacies, the next one, the seventh one. This distortion involves feeling like everything that happens to you is either a result of purely external forces or entirely due to your own actions. Sometimes what happens to us is due to forces we can't control, and sometimes that is due to our own actions. But the distortion is assuming that is always one or the other. Okay, see, like in this example, we might assume that difficult co-workers are to blame for our own less than stellar work, and alternately assume that every mistake another person makes is because of something we did. Okay, so you want to control whatever is around you, whether it's a good behavior of other people, their competencies, their skills, their manners, their behaviors, their thought patterns. You are just controlling. You want to control everything, whatever is happening around you. And in actuality, the only thing which you can control is your own thoughts, your behavior, and your emotions, your feelings. Other people around you, surrounding you, is out of your control. You can only just try to understand yourself first, and if possible people will come along. If not, at least whatever happens around you is not in your control. Your yourself is in control, and how you behave, whatever is happening around you, that will help you to keep the sanity of your mind. And if you are in the better position into to think, you can take better decisions and improve the quality of your life. Okay, this next. Fallacy of fairness. Okay. We often concerned about the fairness. Sometimes people are fair, and sometimes people are not like that. They are not concerned about what you are doing. So in life, people are like that only. So, but sometimes what happens, we take it to the extremes. All whatever I am talking about right now, the distortions, I'm making it clear one more time. In small level or the big level, all these policies or these distortions are there in your mind, in everybody's mind. Only in the extreme we are talking about. Let this, otherwise, our next question I will be like this, ma'am, it happens with me also, what to do? Unless it is creating a problem in your life, please take it lightly. Just try to understand how you are behaving in your life and how you're thinking, and thoughts create your behaviors. So, but these concerns can be taken to extremes. As we all know, life is not always fair. The person who goes through life looking for fairness in all their experiences will end up resentful and unhappy. This could be a source of your unhappiness. For example, if I say that in all the fairness, you are working in a company and you do all the good work for the company, you are trying to give your best, even if you are doing things which you were not supposed to do, but you did in a very good manner. But your boss doesn't recognize your work. He doesn't appreciate that you have done a good job. So how would you feel? Oh, my boss is not, fair. And he's not appreciating me. Maybe he's appreciating someone who didn't do that much of work as much as you did. So this is not being fair. That happens with a lot of people. Am I right? And in the household also, a housewife might as well feel that I do a lot of work in the house and nobody appreciates I am doing so much of work, and they don't recognize, they don't acknowledge that I have put so much of effort in all those things, and nobody sees that, and that is actually not fair. But in the extreme, if you behave and you expect all the fairness, And then what will happen? Can somebody tell me what will happen next if I'm expecting this so that people should appreciate me what I've done, and you have genuinely done something good, but they're not being fair. You, what will happen next? You will stop putting efforts. You will not even try. Why should I? Because they're not going to appreciate me, whatever I'm doing. So why should I even bother to put the effort? So your growth will stop there. Even if they do, recognize or they don't recognize, you are growing. You are who is understanding, who is developing, whose persona is getting glorified. If you are putting extra efforts, you are the one who is learning more. And if they are not being fair, and then your life, will change. For example, if I did, you know, okay, as a housewife, I've been talking about office a lot. So let's talk about housewives now. So a housewife is, she gets up early in the morning, cooks lunch and breakfast and dinner and evening snack for everyone, and she cleans the house and everything, whatever a housewife, usual housewife does. She does that, and husband doesn't acknowledge it. You're putting so much effort to, keep the house clean and the cook nice food, and we are so lucky that you are making such delicacies and all. And but he is not even acknowledging that she's putting efforts. He is just demeaning her. You are just a housewife, you're not doing anything. What do you do the whole day? This is a very common problem I hear from my patients when they come to me, that my husband says that I do nothing in the home. So being fair, of course, housewives do, they do a lot of efforts they put to keep the house organized and keep taking care of the kids and all. In all the fairness, that doesn't happen, that all the husbands or the in-laws will acknowledge that. Then if you are into this distortion, you will stop doing all those things. You will not, cook all the time. You'll say, I'm not in the mood to cook. Order from outside. You will not keep the house clean. You will not work on yourself. You will not take care of the kids. What is their development? You will not see, how they are doing in the studies or their extracurricular activities, or how they are developing as a human being. There's a huge responsibility on a housewife. But if you think like that, and then in the end, what will happen? You will start thinking, I'm not capable enough. I'm not worthy. And the fault is not yours. But you will feel, because of all this cycle, that ultimately you will reach to yourself that I am not worthy. And that will create a lot of mental issues in you, that every action of your life, you will behave from this thought, because I told you CBT is about thoughts. So these thoughts will decide how is your behavior, and that will decide how is your life. So this is not helpful in any way. Then comes blaming. When things don't go our way, we always blame the other person. Okay, that see, there are many ways we can explain and assign the responsibility for the outcome. Sometimes what happens, blaming is very easy to understand. Whatever is that, just suppose, again, I'll take an example of a housewife who wants to work in life, but husband is not supporting that, whether you should be working or not. She will blame that, okay, my husband is not supporting enough, and he's to be blamed for the life I have right now, because he is not allowing me. Tayyab, I want somebody to come on camera, somebody I can interact with, because otherwise it will become very repetitive, this thing. Can somebody come volunteer to come on the camera, please, with whom I can talk? I want to demonstrate it live instead of just speaking like that.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Anika, walaikum assalam. हाँ तो आप can you you're a housewife or working woman or anything?
Ma'am, I am both a housewife or a working woman too.
Okay, so now see, this is commendable. She's doing both the work. So she's taking care of the house as well and the work as well. If you don't mind, nothing personal, I would want you to share anything which you feel that that this person is be blamed for certain situation of your personal, anything which is not very very personal.
Ma'am, working women are responsible at their own for all their circumstances and their needs. Their partners are not ready to take responsibilities as of the woman who is not working. The husbands of housewife are very responsible. There is a major difference between working women and housewives.
Now, my question was that do you want to like in your life? No, I'm not talking about husbands or in-laws or professional work. Do you want to blame? Do you feel sometimes that this person is responsible for this situation?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
Sometimes.
Can you give me an example because I want to demonstrate it live?
Yes, ma'am. For example, when I am at my workplace and there are some mistakes and mishaps, basically I am a teacher and a consultant psychologist too. I'm giving the example as a teacher. When I am in school and students are not performing their homeworks as well as per routine, then responsibility goes to parents.
Okay, so you are, blaming here the responsibility to the parents, if their homework is not done or whatever the child is behaving. Thank you,
Yes.
Anika, right? Thank you, Anika
Okay.
Razi. See, here she is saying that in the school, if the child is not performing well, the parents are supposed to be blamed for this thing. I'm really sorry. Sorry, somebody was at the door. Okay, so here she's saying that parents are supposed to be blamed for that if they are not doing the children are not doing the homework. See, in this situation, she's I'm not saying clearly she's blaming, but if she thinks that my role is also important here, how I act, how I behave in this given situation. Maybe the child is not performing well because of other aspects. Maybe something is going in the house. So our level of understanding increases over here. How can I work better if the help is not there in the from the parents? Maybe they are also working. Maybe they are not well read. Maybe they don't have the time to concentrate that much from the child. Then what will you do in this situation? How you feel, how you act, it is in your hands. If you are blaming it on other person, then you will never work on yourself. Even if you're correct, the fault is not yours. The fault is actually the other person's. But will you be able to change the situation by blaming others? Okay, that you are responsible for this thing, not me. Then there is no development in yourself. Your anxiety will increase, you will have panic attacks, you will have depression, if it goes into the extreme level. So when we are blaming for, even if genuinely the other person is wrong, even if genuinely, and even if sometimes it is not genuinely, the other person is supposed to be blamed. Like I was telling that a lady wants to, work, and the husband is not allowing, and the lady is blaming, my life is like that because my husband is not letting me work and I have not developed. What will happen? She will give up. She will have negative thoughts about herself that I'm not worthy because I am not earning, I am not doing things, and it is completely my husband's responsibility for this thing current situation. That is not the fact. Somebody is saying something.
Yes, ma'am. Here is my question.
Hmm?
If someone is cognitively, or you can say intentionally blaming someone, then how we will overcome this blaming?
Just a second.
You can ask all these questions at end of session. Please mute your mic.
Yeah, you were saying something.
Yeah, you can ask. Hamdar, you can ask.
Okay. My question is,
Hmm.
if a client is come to us and
Hmm.
he is, for example, cognitively or intentionally doing blaming someone,
Hmm.
so how to treat, how to overcome this problem?
See, when this happens, first of all, I was not taking the questions right now, but definitely I will answer your question. You are saying, let me understand if I'm correct. I understood your question. You said that your client is coming to you and they are intentionally blaming someone else. Are you saying this?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
And the fact is that they are not to be blamed, or whatever the fact is, it doesn't matter whether they are actually doing it or not doing it. So in this, if you have this distortion, you have to bring the evidence. Later I will tell all these things, because the tools, because right now I'm just telling you what are distortions, I'm not telling you the solutions at the moment. Later I will tell you the techniques, the tools which we have. But for your because you asked this question, I will tell you the briefly, because we have ABC model and ABCDEF also actually. So in that we give the evidence. So what is your activating thought? Okay, then what was your behavior? How you, what, like can you give me an example? Actually I will make you understand what happened in the situation. Can you give me an example when the patient said something?
For example, a student fails, or he whenever I mean to say, he does not work at home. Okay, and he says to his their parents that my teacher is not good, he is against me, something like that. Then
See, in this situation, first of all, we have thought record sheets. Okay, in that I was just telling you the activating, the triggering part. What was that? What happened? Right now, you said that the client was not studying, and that parents or the teachers started saying that you are not good at it study, something like that. I'm just giving an example. If that is the case, that is its triggering point, that somebody is acknowledging and pointing it out that this is your fault. You are not doing it. That triggered in him. Then next comes what are his emotions at that time, how he felt. He felt that I am not worthy. I am sad. Why they are talking to me like this? They might have felt anger. Okay, they should not be talking to me like that. There could be a different emotions out of that. What then comes the their behavior, or how they behaved in that situation. What happened after that? They stopped studying completely. They stopped putting efforts and all, whatever. So they have to work on their thoughts first. They have to understand, they have to write it down on a paper. We always encourage that. I always ask my patients, you should always write it in a paper with the pen. If whatever you are thinking, whatever thoughts you are going through, whatever you are behaving, you should write it on the paper. Once they write, when they're writing, the thoughts are more clear. They understand their thoughts better, and then they can change it. Later comes the step that they have to bring the evidence of the same situation. Okay, if you believe this is the fact, in your case you said that he was not intentionally, he's blaming others, and at the same time he came, I don't know what problem he came to you with. He must be having some issues, that's why he must have come. So what is the proof of that thing, that actually they did something they asked them not to do? There are a lot of things we will have to work on it, but this thought record sheet brings a lot of clarity to you, but more clarity to the client, to understand what is going on in their mind. So once they understand, okay, this is the thing which is not working, or this is the thing which is not correct in me, only then they can change it. That's why I'm telling you right now, I cannot explain much of it. I will not, I don't think so. As it is, I will be able to finish all the slides today, because if I focus on the how to change all these things, that will take time. I will take question answers in the last 5 minutes. Just two distortions I can discuss right now, then we will come to question answer sessions. Sorry. Then comes the shoulds. Should refer to the whatever everybody thinks like that. Should comes in between. I should behave like this, or that the other person should be behaving like this. They should be doing this. It is their responsibility. Why they have not done it? This is the way. Then the should come. Okay, for example, if I say, uh, I'm really sorry. If I say, my children should study, I'm using the word should. If I ask them, nobody should come to my house when I'm giving the talk, the should, but they will come. This will happen. So if the should, I could have rephrased it instead of saying should. We can always say I would prefer. Can you please mute yourself, please? Thank you. So they should be behaving in a certain manner. So if I use the word should, it becomes very, very restrictive. You give them the option. It works in a very indirect manner. You're working on the psychology or the cognitions of the other person. If I ask you, okay, you must do this thing, you must do that thing, I'm restricting you. But if I give you the option, okay, I would prefer that you do this thing, certain thing. If you're supposed to do the homework, you're supposed to be dressed in a certain manner, you're supposed to talk in a certain manner. Just suppose if I'm not able to speak properly, and somebody says you should do it, you should know how to speak properly, you are speaking very rudely, you don't know how to dress up, you should, you must. What will happen? You will create a barrier in front of you. So if you're doing it to others, they will also create a barrier. If you're asking me to do this thing, I should or I must do it, I will not do it. It has a very negative impact. In the psychological manner, you are playing with a game over there. So try to modify how you speak. You really want the other person should be doing it. But if you rephrase it, like your boss wants you to do something, okay, if you are the boss, you want your subordinates to give you a project or file they are supposed to make, or a presentation, or you need the data collection or xyz thing. It's a very important thing. They must be doing it, they should be doing it. But if I order it, what happens in corporate world? There is a lot of imbalance there, because boss is actually being bossy. The employees feel they are not being heard, and their work is not being appreciated, and they are always being ordered what to do and what not to do. Sorry. So in that case, if you rephrase it, see, in the office scene, of course the work is very important, but if you give the other person, okay, this is your deadline, it's a very important work, and I would prefer that this is the deadline. It would really make me happy that this is done by this time. So you always make the deadline earlier, so that you have the scope, just in case the other person is not has not done it, you will have a span in between. So should, it's a it's a when we interact with customer service representatives, there's not immediately accommodating. We might get angry also. Sorry. So if somebody is not behaving according to your wishes, what happens to you, that is more important over here. In all the distortions, it doesn't matter what the other person is doing. It is more important what you are thinking, how you are behaving, how your mindset is changing. I think this is the last cognitive distortion I will take today, so that I want to explain other things as well. I don't want to go according to the PPT. See, in all the cognitive distortions we just read, you can always read in the PPT. It is briefly explained over there. It is not a big deal, but I can, I want to make you understand practically while talking about it. If you have these distortions, whose life will get impacted? It would be your life, because you are, it's a chain. It's a chain. It starts, going back. If a certain accident happened, then you will start thinking back about it, something which is affecting in you. Just suppose I need another volunteer. I'm really sorry, so that I can make you understand. I just one example I will make you understand, then I will take the questions. Any other volunteer? Have you heard about the word laddering or downward arrow? Anybody there? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to speak with someone who can come, so I can see tell you what is laddering or downward arrow with live example. Okay, let's continue. See, laddering is when yes,
Yeah,
Aline Fatima, you want to come
Aline
on video
Fatima.
or at least audio if you're not comfortable with audio video, that's okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum. Aline Fatma
Walaikum
here.
assalam. Yes, walaikum assalam. Yes. Any one problem you can share that you want to work on in your life? That this is the thing which I want to change in myself, or this I'm not happy, about the situation, about the people around you, or about yourself, anything which you want to work on.
Yes, I want to work on like my own self. इसमें जो चीज the thing which I want to work on is like I'm not able to start my yoga routine again due to some issues in my past. Like I've been through some like traumatic event, and after that I'm not able to continue my yoga routine. So I just want to work on this to get back to my routine.
The physical fitness you want. Okay.
Yeah.
So is there any physical condition because of that you are not able to do? Then accordingly I will talk.
No, there is no
No,
physical
no physical.
condition.
Okay, physically like a no problem issue. Okay. So I don't know what happened over there, but what comes to your thought? Why you want to do yoga? That is my first question.
Because I feel like I'm gaining weight. Like from past 4 to 5 months, I have gained like 10 kgs.
Okay, and you want to get fit. Why you want to get fit? You have gained weight, right?
Yes,
Again, my question is why you want to get lose weight?
I think like the people around me wants me to lose weight
Why they want you to lose weight?
because of my gynecologist suggested me to do so.
Okay, why she said that? Why is
It's
it vital that you lose weight? There are ample of reasons you can give, but I want to know what is going on in your mind. That is a question. What was just going through your mind? I want to know that.
okay because I had been through a miscarriage, and after that she suggested me to lose weight so that you can conceive again.
Okay. And what was going through your mind at that moment when she said that you're supposed to lose weight? Try to understand what I'm trying to do over here. What is going in your mind? You are whatever answers you gave me just now is what these are the opinions of people around you which you also accepted as your own, right?
Okay,
What
okay.
exactly is happening in your mind? Try to think about it. What is that, which is going? If she said you are supposed to lose weight, what
uh,
was the thought in your mind which came immediately? Should I help you?
initially I was thinking like, okay, I'm all fine, it's okay if I'm gaining weight, it's nothing too much serious. But now I think I should have lose weight, and I used to think daily that I should have to start my yoga routine, but I'm not able to do so.
See, reason being, I will help you here. Maybe I could be wrong also. Why that physical thing that if you are gaining weight, there could be a lot of physical reasons also that you want to be fit, you want to conceive again, or you want to look attractive. XYZ reason. Of course, losing weight is important to you, want to be fit. But ultimately, if you are fit, okay, you lose 10 kgs, you look weight, what will happen then? If you're very attractive now, you have lost weight, what will happen then? What will go in your mind at that time? I'll just take one more minute with this question, just to make you understand what exactly is happening over here. So what will happen actually when you lose 10 kgs and you're looking very fit and fine?
I will look more attractive, as well as I can conceive again, maybe.
How will you feel? Okay, that conceiving part of for the timing we'll keep it separately. Okay, you have
Sure.
conceived also, okay, and you have lost, you're looking attractive. How will you feel at that time if you're attractive? What different does that make to you?
I think like I feel myself like more confident.
Now you're coming to that thing, more confident. You'll feel I'm more worthy.
Yeah.
You will feel more appreciated. You will feel I'm more acceptable by people. There are, a lot of things which I
Yes.
can say.
Yeah.
So ultimately the thing started with the losing the weight, and it will, it will take a lot of sessions for me to go to her actually core belief, what she believes about herself. That is how we do laddering, and that's how we reach, the core belief. What is your core belief? Right now I will not continue with this thing. Otherwise, if you understand what is your core belief, you behave according to the, basis of that thought which you have about yourself. So even if you have gained weight, if your core belief is very strong and positive about yourself, you will be not have, all these cognitive distortions. And if you do have, then also, then next, in the next session I will tell you how to work on these distortions or whatever issues you might be having. And once we work on that, then only you can take right actions, because you are working on the right problem. In the last session I also told that you come go to a doctor and you say that I have a fever, and mm, fever is a symptom, not a disease. So why the fever is there, we will diagnose that. I will teach you how to go to the core. We will discuss about the Socratic questions and all, and we'll discuss different tools and all those things. But for the time being, I hope you understood, the what is the core belief, and that's how we can change. Mr. Hamdard, I don't know what exactly is your name, he also asked a question. So if by laddering we will reach to the actual problem, and once we reach to the actual problem, only then we can work on it. And if we don't know, we are seeing only that these problems are like umbrella. So if I can give you, the superficial solution, behave like this, behave like that, it will not help you in any way, because the core is not getting touched. Okay, in the next session we
Thank
will
you so
discuss
much,
that.
ma'am.
One more question, last question, I really have to leave. Somebody said I want to ask anybody.
I have a
Okay, that would
question.
be all. Quick question. And this is the last.
How to, how to stop focusing on negativity?
Now that tools I will tell you. If I say stop thinking negative, and no, there are a lot of tools how to change. We reconstruct our cognitive, restructuring is there. That tool I will teach you how to do it practically, not about just negative thoughts, but there are a lot of distortions we talked about, and the way you think, because CBT is all about how you think and how you can change it. So definitely there are a lot of tools with the help of which we implement all these things. Mindfulness are there, thought record sheet, smart goals, and different tools are there. We will be applying that, and with the help of that you would be able to come out of it. Okay,
And
so in the
secondly,
next session,
the problem
only last
everyone is
question.
everyone is talking about me in a bad way. How can I?
I'm really sorry. I'm already over the time. I would really love to answer your question, and but right now is the not. I cannot answer because I really have to leave. Tayyab, Mr. Tayyab.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. But I really have to, leave. I'm practically I would have loved to explain all these things to them, but I'm really getting late.
Thanks, ma'am, for your time. Anyone want to share their feedback? Please do quickly. Otherwise, we end this session. We also provide the recording and the slide of this session. You also take this session again on YouTube.
Thank you very much, madam, for a wonderful session.
Thank you.
Since you are in a hurry and you want to go, I am also a clinical psychologist. यहाँ पे there's a question कि ma'am, what are the triggers behind these cognitive distortions? With your
Yes.
permission, if you allow.
See, I can tell you what are the triggers and all. They start, but that's a very deep topic. See, I told you CBT is very, very vast. A lot of people, are asking me a lot of questions. CBT is so vast that, it takes a lot of time. I didn't even explain the distortions in very detail. So there will be a lot of tools, techniques, the principles, and CBT is, different for every different disorder. Like for anxiety, the CBT is different. For panic attacks, the CBT is different. There is a visual CBT. It's a very vast topic. So very few questions I can ask. So if I talk about the core beliefs you're talking about, the triggers you're talking about, it will take me another 2 hours to talk about that, how it all started, the triggers started. If you can wait for another session.
Sure, we can put in another session. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
ma'am. Thanks to all of you. You joined this session. Now we can end